Alright guys, back here at Nationals, and this time we have the deck that knocked me out of top 16. I still got top 32, and I'm proud of this guy, and he played the deck that I thought was very interesting. It's one of my favorite leaders, and he played...
Hirudegarn, blue-green, Hirudegarn, Zamasu.
So this deck is spicy, it's very consistent, and it deals with the meta pretty well, and it has its own twist on winning. And what is your name?
Noah Land.
Proud of you, Lil. Noah. Let's go ahead and get into the deck profile.
Alright, so like I said, leader, Hirudegarn, just very straightforward, very solid blue leader.
Stupid good.
Been good since last year, still good now. So bread and butter of the deck is the new draft box, Goku Black. Think the card's insane. Plays for 2, untapped, pops a 2-drop or lower, and for 3 energy, you get to go straight into the Twisted Justice, Fuse Zamasu.
This card's unfair.
So usually trying to get this out turn 3. If you have the Awaken, you can get 2 of them out usually. That's 2 25k double striker indestructibles turn 3. Clip 4 from the hand. They're on the board for the rest of the game. You're good to go. If you find those aren't enough pressure.
So what do these Zamasu cards do exactly?
So the Twisted Justice, it will clip either 2 cards at random from the opponent's hand or 2 cards or 2 battle cards on their board. So if you find you're behind on board space, pops anything you want. If your opponent's low on hand, which feels a lot of decks are right now, 2 at random, really good chance of hitting good cards, as my interviewer can attest.
He killed my board, and then he took the 2 best cards out of my hand before he killed me. This game 2.
Then if you find those aren't quite enough pressure to end a game, you also get to play the SCR Broly with the Paragus to enable.
Because you can get rid of your guy.
You find you can just go all out on a turn. Once you've basically blown your hand, blown your energy, Paragus plays for 1. Sacks the Zamasu that swung off the board, and SCR Broly comes down. And when SCR Broly comes down, he tends to end the game right there.
So your turn play normally would be go Broly whenever they're at 3 life or so?
Try and push to 2 as much as possible. It depends on whether or not I'm at the 1 life or not. If I'm at the 1 life, I like to play many swingers down that I can first. If I can get a Zamasu on board that, besides the one I'm sacking, if I can get an overwhelm card on board, just put as much on board as possible before the Broly comes down. And
turn 4 or so, turn 5?
I've had it turn 4, I've had it turn 3.
Holy cow.
Turn 5's the more realistic. It tends to be the finisher. Plays a lot like a Mira in a lot of decks. You play it down at the very end, comes in, ends the game.
Card's super powerful.
In order to enable that more efficiently to enable Awakening against decks like Shenron or Janemba, I play a total of 8 1-drop Awakeners, 1 in green, 1 in blue. Gohan, obviously the crit's very good, denies hand advantage. Find Pan's also extremely useful. You just get the swinging, get her back to hand, combo her off later when you need to survive.
Charge.
Yeah,
she does everything.
A lot of decks, you just sit back and let them kind of waste all their hand on you. Just take the hits, and any hand advantage you can have is just good to go. After that, After that, there's the kind of generic Hirudegarn package. You have your 4 Hoi, obviously an amazing super combo.
The best super combo. Disgusting.
I play 3 Minosha with 3 legs. Obviously great to be discarding off the leader. Cards are insane in the Toa matchup. Refuses to let them have any early advantage on you. They go to discard, you discard a Minosha, grab a legs right back, and you're good to go. Then since I tend to have so much energy up, 4 of the Infernal Villainy cells.
This is exactly. I looked at your deck and I'm just sitting there. This is exactly how I would play this. It looks so good.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Just early turns, it keeps you alive. Late turns, you have the energy up. Like I said, I tend to sit back, let my opponent push at me, and just survive. Infernal's great for enabling that. For my Overrealm, the main focus is the new draft box Mira.
This card is so good.
30k double striker for 1's already insane. Draws you the card, and the best part is if it doesn't end the game, that's an energy up on your opponent's turn, so you can sit back and defend yourself. When you combine that with the energy that's being untapped by the Goku Black, I've had turns where I untap 2 or 3 at the start of my opponents, and when you've been putting pressure like that on and you still have all your energy up, you're just good to go. We also teched in one dimensional banisher food the night before Nationals. We found the deck did not have enough removal if I could not get the Twisted Justices on board. So just to have that quick overwhelm, remove a Broly, remove a grade 8 baby, just whatever's in my way, stopping me from making my plays. It's nice to have the dimensional banisher. The one Trunks, if I could play 4, I'd play 4, but one's going to have to do for the untap. Obviously that untap's very important for getting the Twisted Justice down as fast as possible. A lot of games I have to play the Goku Black on my own turn rather than the opponent's. So that combined with an Awakening will let me play the Goku Black for the 2 and then the Justice for 3. Same idea, 4 Sensu Bean obviously. Great on defense, great for extending my plays. Must have if you're going for the double Zamasus, etc., etc. And then to round it off, I play 4 D-Magics.
Best negate.
And 4 Heroes Mafuba as my negates.
This card is a Mafuba for 1, as long as you have a God on board. And it also actually negates the attack. So Mafuba didn't negate the attack, but put him in the jar. But this one actually negates the attack. It could matter eventually, but it's pretty good. It can negate attack even if you don't have a God, so that's good too.
Yeah, it's a very important thing to remember. The one thing to watch out for, though, is since it cannot negate a leader swing, don't bank on that keeping you alive in that instance.
Yeah.
Welcome to
It's a very cool card.
round.
And if you don't have these, get them
30 minutes. You may begin.
in the side deck.
So as for my sideboard, most of it's pretty standard. 3 King Yenma for the Shenron Purunga matchups. I have the energy. If they're putting all their pieces in the drop, right before they go off, you just drop a couple Yemas, put all their Victory Strikes, their Kaiokens, their Gojitas back, and they don't have anything left to kill you with. 3 Gawasu. Again, it can be used in the Shenron matchup, but more importantly for the Janemba.
Shuffle your stuff back.
Shuffle or puts back on the bottom, so you need to have a Minosha or something to get the deck shuffled. But with a deck like mine, even 1 or 2 turns of an extra swing makes a huge difference. You get a couple Zamasus on board against like Janemba, and you're just pressuring them every turn, but it's not always quite enough.
Speaking of the Janemba matchup, would you not think the 5-drop Zamasu from the draft box would be good enough for the deck?
It's all right, but the way I see it, so it's going to clip a card every turn. But if I have a 25k double striker swinging at them instead, that's going to tend to clip a lot more than 1 card. They're either going to have to combo out of it, they're going to have to blow negates. Like, it's going to end up being the same thing, but when the 25k finally does connect, it's going to do a lot more than
You don't think
20K does.
any would be good in the main at all?
I'm just not a fan of the card. Like, I could see maybe running 1 or 2, but I'm just always going to prefer the Twisted Justice over the 5-drop.
Okay, fair enough.
I run 3 Westkais, obviously for the U6, or not the U6. Well, works in U6, works against the grade 8 Bardock is the more important one. You can make your opponent waste 2, put it back. That's obviously great. The U6 or the blue-yellow Zapes, I believe it's called, is one of the hardest matchups for this deck. They generate such a large hand that even I can't always quite keep up with it. So any little bit against that helps a lot. 3 remote serious bombs. Like I said, if my opponent's able to put down like a grade 8 baby, a big green Broly, anything like that before I get my own stuff down, it makes it very hard for me to actually get moving. So any removal for those is a lot of help, which is why I also run 3 of the Overwhelm Bardock.
It removes those guys that you can't normally remove.
Yeah, I played against a green Broly, went all the way up the chain, and just free as all get out. Just boop, it's gone. Make all my plays, killed him turn. So,
Well, thanks for the profile, man. Is there any shout outs you'd like to give?
I'd like to shout out to Nicholas Martinez. Put in a lot of work building the deck with me, sat down, thought about it. The hero lead was his idea. Obviously, that worked out great.
The fact that the hero leader on the backside takes a card from your opponent's hand that put on top of their deck every turn once you get this started is just insane to me.
Just adds to the whole thing. And I'd like to shout out to Dalen Mack for basically sponsoring my trip. Brought me out here, got me playing. I wouldn't have made it without him. So, obviously, a big shout out.
Shout out to the Ravens.
Yeah.
Any other things you want to note?
I think that's it.
Thanks for the deck profile, and we'll see you guys next time.